Many thanks for staying with your number one independent radio station, Ray Power 100.5 FM Abuja. Hello and welcome to the news desk. I am Chukudima Eni. First, the headlines. Heat wave hits Nigeria as temperature is projected to soar above 40 degrees Celsius. ADC faces more disagreement over Senator Ireti Kingigbe's suspension. New Uganda visa-free entry for 40 countries, excluding US and EU. And US refueling plane crashes in Iraq, 4 killed. Details of this and more coming up shortly.
As the news drops, it breaks with us. Join us for news on the hour every hour. News desk at 12 noon, Metro News at 4 p.m. Enjoy infotainment, breaking and sports news at their best 24/7.
This is Ray Power FM.
Yeah, the neighboring community of Ekinrin Ade affected, with homes, businesses, structures, schools and churches heavily damaged and leaving many families displaced.
Residents of Egbedaiga and Ekiriade in Ijumo local government area of Kogi State are still reeling from a devastating rainstorm earlier this week that destroyed homes, schools, and businesses, leaving many without shelter and struggling to recover lost property and livelihoods.
Affected so many buildings in the community, especially here in this Egbedaiga community. And the only school that we have in this community is the government special secondary school Egbedaiga. It also affected the school in a serious way. And because of that, we have not been able to keep our students.
House from that side, carry roof, come this side. Was not even safe. Everybody just did. Even this our house, inside break.
Traditional rulers in the affected communities say urgent intervention is needed to assist displaced families to rebuild damaged structures.
Almost everybody here is a farmer, and we know the farm season is just coming. This is not even the time of harvest, so that we say you will get something from whether they get money.
So the whole situation is so terrible. So please, we are appeal to government. Anyhow they can assist us to alleviate the suffering of my people.
Local authorities say steps are being taken to assess the damage and coordinate assistance for victims.
We have discussed with His Excellency, and he has mandated all the officers in charge to see that his people in the Ijumo local government are not left the way they are.
The Kogi State Emergency Management Agency says it is monitoring the situation and will work with relevant agencies to provide relief materials.
Very soon, relief items will be sent to the affected victims. And as an agency, we are in partnership management. Very soon, the federal government intervention too will come the way of the victims too.
For now, families in Egbedaiga and neighboring Ekiriade communities in Ijumo local government area are anxiously waiting for assistance to arrive before the next heavy rainfall. Tekumba Akaya, Egbedaiga.
And now on the story on heat wave, large parts of Nigeria are currently experiencing an intense heat wave, with meteorologists warning that temperature could climb above 40 degrees Celsius in some northern states. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency, or NIMET, has issued a nationwide heat stress warning, urging residents to take precaution as extreme heat and humidity increase of dehydration and heat-related illnesses. Health experts say conditions could pose serious dangers, especially for children, the elderly, and people.
It's part of the seasonal transition. It's part of the seasonal transition towards the season, combined with broader climate trends that are making heat waves more frequent and intense across Africa. Daytime temperatures across the country are expected to range between 30 and 40 degrees Celsius, with some areas pushing even higher. But the greatest concern may not be the temperature alone, it is the impact on human health. Medical experts warn exposure to extreme heat can trigger serious conditions, including dehydration, heat exhaustion, and heat stroke. Heat exhaustion occurs when the body loses too much water and salt through sweating. Symptoms may include excessive sweating, dizziness or weakness, nausea, rapid heartbeat, headaches, and confusion. If untreated, heat exhaustion can escalate into heat stroke, a life-threatening emergency. Public health specialists say certain groups are especially vulnerable, including children, older adults, pregnant women, and outdoor workers. Experts recommend several simple but critical steps to reduce the risk of heat illness. Stay hydrated, drink water regularly throughout the day, avoid peak sun hours, limit outdoor activity between 12 noon and 4 p.m. When heat levels are highest, wear light clothing, loose breathable fabrics, help the body cool down, take cool showers, or rest in shade areas. Check on vulnerable people, including the elderly and young children. Health officials also advise workers who must remain outdoors, such as construction crews and street vendors, to take frequent breaks and drink fluids regularly. With temperatures expected to remain high in the coming weeks, authorities are urging Nigerians to remain vigilant and treat extreme heat as a serious public health risk. Meteorologists say conditions could persist until seasonal rains begin to moderate temperatures in parts of the country. Until then, health officials stress a simple message: stay cool, stay hydrated, and avoid prolonged exposure to sun. Amaka Ezekwe, Abuja.
We now take you to stories on politics, where trouble is brewing at the African Democratic Congress, or ADC. Both the National and the Federal Capital Territories chapter are at loggerheads over the suspension of the only senator representing the nation's capital, Ireti Kingigbe, for what her accusers are calling anti-party activities. On Tuesday, at a general meeting held by the Use ward, the members announced the suspension of the federal lawmaker, a move which the national chapter of the party rejected, stating it was unaware of the situation. Raypa Funkes Ogunlolu reports that the ward immediately reacted, insisting that several petitions have been written to the national headquarters for months before it was ignored. And now health authorities in Zamfara State are at high alert following the confirmation of few new cases of polio in 2 local government areas, raising fresh concerns after the state recorded 0 cases in 2025. In response, the government is preparing for a statewide vaccination campaign next month and is calling on community leaders and stakeholders to support efforts to protect children. The State Emergency Operations Center has been activated to lead and coordinate the operation. And you're listening to the news desk on Raypa 100.5 FM. In the highlight of the news, heat wave hits Nigeria as temperature is projected to soar above 40 degrees Celsius. ADC faces coming after the break. New Uganda visa-free entry for 40 countries, excluding US and EU. In US refueling plane crashes in Iraq, 4 killed, plus business, entertainment, sports, and weather. Do stay with us.
On the hour, every hour. News desk at 12 noon, Metro News at 4 p.m. Enjoy infotainment, breaking and sports news at their best 24/7.
This is Ray Power FM News.
Welcome back, and now to the rest of the news. Uganda has announced visa-free entry for nationals of 40 countries, excluding United States and European Union nations from this list. According to the Ugandan government, travelers from the targeted countries will no longer need to obtain a visa to travel to Uganda, Zimbabwe, Malawi, Botswana, Lesotho, Madagascar, Comoros, Eritrea, Gambia, Sierra Leone, Ghana, and Eswatini. Others will need to apply for a visa and wait for approval to enter this East African country. And 4 U.S. military personnel have died after a refueling plane crash in Iraq. The KC-135 aircraft was involved in U.S. operations against Iran when it went down, but the U.S. say neither hostile nor friendly fire were involved. Rescue efforts are underway. Iran's military claims an allied group targeted the plane with a missile. The U.S. military has now lost at least 4 aircraft during the current war.
And now a business update from Ray Power 100 FM.
Please.
And now a business update from Ray Power 100
Oil prices have surged above $100 a barrel, with stock markets also taking a hit after fresh attacks on Gulf energy targets. The International Energy Agency says the Middle East war is causing the biggest disruption to global oil supplies ever, despite major economies releasing crude reserves. The Strait of Hormuz is effectively shut down, with attacks on ships and oil tankers raising fears of a supply crunch. Meanwhile, state governors are calling for a forensic audit of Nigeria's crude oil-backed borrowing arrangement, citing concerns over opaque deals that may be undermining revenue inflows. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, has pledged 272,500 barrels of crude oil daily through 8.86 billion barrels in crude for loan deals, with $6.25 billion still outstanding. State commissioners of finance want all such deals subjected to legislative approval through disclosure and independent audit. Popular comedian, skit maker, and social has been hospitalized after his content creator sustained a gunshot injury while treatment and was later referred to another hospital in the government residential area, Ikeja, where he is currently recovering.
Ray Power Sport.
Galatasaray are preparing for a summer battle over Victor Osimhen as Arsenal and Manchester United compete to sign the Super Eagles striker for €130 million to €140 million. Arsenal's Mikel Arteta is keen on Osimhen, while Man United is also monitoring the situation. Chelsea is another potential suitor. Meanwhile, Manchester United is looking to sign Newcastle's Sandro Tonali as they prepare for Casemiro's departure. The 25-year-old Italy international is seen as a key player to modernize United's squad. Newcastle may be forced to sell due to financial struggles, but United is also considering domestic options.
Ray Power weather.
This afternoon, hot and mostly sunny conditions are expected across much of the country. Temperatures will rise to around 35 to 36 degrees Celsius, especially across the northern and north-central regions. The southern region will see partly cloudy skies with a slight chance of isolated thunderstorms later in the day. And you've been listening to the news desk on Ray Power 100.5 FM. To end the news, here is our last line. In the words of Mark Twain, an American writer, the secret of getting ahead is getting started. This means whatever your goal is, ensure you take the first step. And that's the news desk as produced by Kedenojo Okoliko. I am Chukudima Enyi. You can always listen to Ray Power now online on Radio Garden, online radio box, tunein.com with the handle at Ray Power 100.5 FM Abuja. News on the hour comes up at 1 p.m. Join us then for news updates. Good afternoon, Abuja.
Providing 360 degrees of information and entertainment. Reloaded for today's Niger.
Ray Power. Ray